NBC and CNN surprised us this weekend. And how did they surprise us? They surprised us with new polling information, and they had an interesting conversation, and I want to share that with you guys right now. Check it out. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm.
And for more on our brand new NBC News poll, I am joined now by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki to take us through all of the numbers. Steve, boy, this is a big one.
Yeah, Kristen, the numbers say it. It is a tie game here weeks before the election, and it's that shift. Our last poll taken in the wake of that September debate, Harris had opened up that advantage over Trump. Gone in our new poll. What goes into that? What's behind that? I think this one is revealing. This is the basic perception voters have of these candidates. Is it positive? Is it negative? Now, these are not great numbers for either one. Trump 43 positive, 51 negative. He's 8 points underwater, you might say. But look at Harris. Exact same positive score and that negative number almost in the exact same place. And this is it. The last time we polled this question after that debate, Harris had really made up ground in this area. Look, she had a positive rating, 48 to 45. So that advantage has all in the last few weeks in our poll washed away for her. Then there's some issues, some characteristics here. These are advantages in red here that you see for Trump now versus September. On the immigration and the border, we ask voters who would be better on this. In September, Trump had a big advantage. It's gotten bigger. On inflation and the cost of living, Trump's advantage now hits double digits. And on the question of who represents change, Harris had the advantage in September. She still does, but lower.
So significant because voters are telling us change is a critical issue for them, not the direction you want to be going in there, Steve.
No, absolutely not. And maybe a reason for that, too, is remember, she's the VP in an unpopular administration. Look, we asked Joe Biden's policies as president. Do you think they're helping or hurting your family? Look at that. Almost 2 to 1 say hurting more than helping. His job approval rating is in the low 40s. And then here's the twist. When you ask folks, when Trump was president, were his policies helping or hurting? Look at that difference. 44% say helping, 31% say they hurt. So retrospectively, Trump is getting some numbers here. Maybe he didn't even get when he was president. And then this is, in perspective, the challenge that Harris faces. These are the modern vice presidents like Harris, incumbent vice presidents, running while their boss was still in office. And just look, 88, George Bush Sr., his boss Reagan had nearly a 60% approval rating. Bush won. 2000, Clinton was at 60%. Gore didn't win, but he won the popular vote. We can say that. And here's Harris. And just look how different the atmosphere is. Biden's approval rating in our poll, only 43 points. She's running in a totally different atmosphere than previous incumbent vice presidents did. And then we could talk about issues. This is an interesting way. Typically in the past, we've just given folks a list of issues, said, are they important? Here we've asked a question, is this issue so singularly important that it's the entire basis of your vote for president? And you could see abortion comes in number one there.
And that's so significant. This is the first presidential election after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Hugely significant. Abortion is at the top. Usually we're talking about the cost of living as being the energizing factor.
Absolutely. And I think the Harris folks, if they're looking for good news in this poll, it's this, because this issue is her biggest advantage over Donald Trump. And you could see, as you say,
which is really weird because I don't understand how people are concerned about something that you can control yourself. The cost of living, immigration, border, protecting democracy, all of those things are malleable. Those things change and go based off of different policies and so many other factors. I'm always going to be able to control whether or not I needed the chick to get an abortion by controlling what I do. You know what I'm saying? So Rich is really weird. But if you go back to the beginning of this, it's interesting because they're basically saying that it is a tie game, and both CNN and NBC are both presenting this information, which you know that if they are saying this, then he's probably up 10 points. If NBC and CNN is reporting this and they're concerned and they're bringing this to light, you know that Trump is up probably 10 points.
Kristen Welker is the moderator of Meet the Press. Kristen, good morning. Great to see you. As always, I understand you all are going to roll out a new NBC News poll this morning. What jumped out at you as you sifted through it?
Well, Willie, the big headline, this is a national head-to-head poll, is that Vice President Kamala Harris had a 5-point lead in our last poll taken a month ago, right after the debate. That lead has all but evaporated, Willie. Take a look at this new head-to-head matchup, 48% to 48%. That is what we call a deadlocked race. It underscores what we all know, that this is tight, that the country is sharply divided. One of the other big headlines here, people are viewing the Trump presidency more favorably than the Biden presidency. Why is that significant? We've seen the vice president get pressed repeatedly on what she would do differently than President Biden, and she's really struggled with that answer. We have new reporting that will roll out on the show this morning, Willie, taking us inside the Harris campaign, where there are discussions about changing her answer on that. Can she draw a distinction on the Middle East?
How can you change your answer on something that you already answered? You know what I'm saying? Like, she was already on The View. She already did several different podcasts where they asked her, you know what, how would you do anything different than you did it during the presidency of Biden? And you know what she said? I'll tell you what she said. She said, listen, she tried to give herself credit, but she didn't realize that she was shooting herself in the foot. And I don't know if these people really have a pulse on what's happening out here in these streets. But this is what she said. She said, listen, every major decision that went on during this presidency, I was a part of. So she was projecting herself as a leader, but she didn't realize that nobody actually cared for the decisions that was made over the last 3.5 years. Nothing. Nobody. I've been talking about this campaign. I've been talking about this presidency. I've been reporting on immigration and all of these different things for over 2.5 years now. All of it. We've really kicked it into gear over the last 6 months. I've had several different panels, debates, street interviews, conversations online, call-ins, challenges. And guess what I've been able to find? When I ask people the question, what is it that you like about Kamala Harris over the last 3.5 years, or how have your life improved over the last 3.5 years since they've been in office? And of all of the time that I've been reporting, and of all of the people that I've interviewed, and all of the interactions that I've had, I cannot find one person that describes something out of feelings, that don't describe something out of feelings or identity politics as a justification for why you should vote for Kamala Harris. In no situation have I ever seen somebody articulate or explain to me why that actually makes sense to them. Not one time. Not one time have they explained to me how their life is either A, improved, or B, why they should vote for her outside of identity politics. Not one person. Not one. They say we like her because she a woman. We're going to vote for her because we think that she black, because she got the vibes. And the number one answer that I've interacted with is because I don't like him, so I think that I'm going to vote for her. Those are the reasons. Those are the 4 core reasons. Why would you vote for him? Police immunity, racism. Oh, they going to tie us up and hog tie us and bring us back into the plantation if Trump get into all that. It's all craziness. Straight up craziness. 100% of the time.
For example, on immigration, all under discussion with this razor-tight race. Willie?
And she continues to say, I am not Joe Biden, but you're right. She'll have to get more specific here down the stretch if she wants to win. Kristen, thank you so much.
I would hate to be a person that has to face me and debate me or have a conversation with me or to be questioned, and then you can't come up with one reason. You can't come up with anything to justify your vote, but the only reason that you then vote there is to say, well, I don't like him. So, anyways, in conclusion, the point that I was making is that even in the polls on biased organizations such as NBC and CNN, they're even saying that, yo, she's losing ground bad. And it's one of the reasons why I think that she's supposed to show up in Detroit tomorrow. I seen a post from Charlemagne, and I seen several different people reach out to me and say, Anton, yeah, Kamala Harris is going to be in Detroit tomorrow. Guess who ain't going to be there? Guess who's hosting it? Charlemagne. So you're coming to Detroit to try to convince Michiganders in a swing state to vote for you, but at no point did you ever even attempt to get in touch with and reach out to the person that has the biggest podcast and the most reach in the city. Now, I know that they watch. They're watching this right now. So for 4,600 people tuned into the Millionaire Morning Show, this ain't even my biggest channel. I know that they watch. I know that they're concerned. I know that they're paying attention to everything that goes viral. But they just... Why would you bring somebody that's not even from... Where's Charlemagne from? South Carolina? Why would you be somebody from South Carolina to host an event, a pre-recorded Q&A? Now, how do I know that the questions that she's going to get is not actually even questions from people authentically giving a question? Well, guess what? I'm connected. That's what happens when you have the biggest reach and the biggest podcasts that do the biggest numbers in the city of Detroit. So this is what they're doing. Let me give y'all a little bit of insight. They have certain well-to-do or community people that's in the know and who knows who, whatever. And they're inviting certain people, and I'm not going to say the who's and the what's and none of that because I got to protect my sources. They're inviting certain people to be able to ask one question, and they want to know what the question is so that they can prepare her to be able to answer the question. And you have to be somebody that knows somebody to be chosen to answer her one question that is going to be hosted by Charlemagne the God in Detroit. And you think that that's going to hit? For those of y'all that's working on the Kamala Harris campaign, and you think that this is going to sway in her favor, in what world do you think that an independent voter that is on the fence about who they're going to vote for in the United States of America election in Michigan, in what world do you think that that's going to work out for you? You bring in an outsider to host an event in Detroit because you're losing ground in Michigan, and so you decide to have pre-vetted questions from the who's who, a part of the boule, and you think that that's going to work out for you. Who? What? Harpo? Who? What? When? Where? Why? And how? In my city? In my city. I mean, it's all of our city that's a part of the city. But let's just be honest. Ain't nobody got bigger reach than me in my city. This is my city. It's people reaching out to people, and people don't even know that I'm connected. They have no clue. People are feeding me so much information prior to her coming here. I even know some of the people that's being proposed as to how they can even ask a question at the Kamala Harris event. They don't even know that they got moles in their own campaign. It's people that work for them that work for me. I know how much they giving out to election workers, poll workers. I know the people that's recruiting for the poll workers, how much they offering, who they offering it to, where it's going. I know everything. All you got to do is be in the know. I know everything that's going on in my city. I know everything that's going on. Let me be quiet. I know everything that's going on in my city. You ain't going to come to my city and think that y'all gonna control the narrative of what's going on. Y'all can do all of the pre-vetted questions that y'all want. If you want real traction, you know who to get in touch with. If you want real traction, in my city, you know who to get in touch with. Hey, it's only what? 2-3 weeks to the election? Hey, y'all, if y'all want to ask Kamala Harris a question, get in touch with me. Oh, it's my city. This is my city. I run this here. You just live here. I know it's a lot of people that's out here and, you got the rappers and stuff like that. I'm talking about the mobilization of voters in the political arena. I'm not talking about no verses. I'm not talking about no rappers. I ain't talking about no football. We ain't talking about sports. We talking about money and politics. That's my specialty. I run this here. Not the news. We do more views than the news. We do more views in Channel 7, WXYZ. We do more views in Channel 2. We run this here. When I'm walking in the streets, I see the news people and they, oh, Anton, we watch your stuff all the time. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. This is my city. This is my city. All roads go through Anton when it comes to this money talk and this political game. That's a fact. Money, politics, relationships, that's all mine. Y'all can have sports. You can have rap. You can have all of that stuff. I stay here for a reason because I got more control over here. Y'all got Miami, I give you that. You got New York, it's a lot of podcasters in Atlanta. They all moved down there. California, you got it. Las Vegas, I give you that. Detroit, this is my city. They brought Charlemagne. Get the hell out of here, bro.